if Screwtape was asked about standing for marriage. The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis is a Christian classic which follows letters written by a senior demon named Screwtape to his nephew, Wormwood. Wormwood is a less experienced demon. Therefore, Screwtape offers advice on how to help his patience towards our Father below and away from the enemy, which is God. Below is a version of how Wormwood might address the issue of standers who continue to honour their vows and pray for their spouses. My dear Wormwood, I am writing to commend you on the excellent work you have done over the past many years regarding marriage. Marriage is on the decline, and divorce is rising, even within the Church. Our Father below established a foundation within human flesh long ago to tend towards selfishness, individual rights, and seeking better things. And you have certainly taken my advice by exploiting the human heart to the fullest. There is no other way more effective and swifter at inflicting damage and gaining many for our Father below than ruining marriages. Why go after one when you can take down a whole family and a church body? Plus, our Father below receives the added delight of seeing vows that were made before the very eyes of the enemy broken. However, I have noticed something exceedingly alarming in your latest patient, and it must be dealt with immediately. She has decided to stand for her marriage. I know how diligently you have laboured to cause chaos and confusion in her life. She is utterly broken and driven to her knees, but herein is where the greatest peril lies, because the enemy, without fail, will always swoop in and rescue at the sound of her cries. You must act quickly, Wormwood. I have often found in such situations that subtlety works most effectively. Your patient is exceptionally faithful, continually bracing herself for the storm and trusting the enemy to be her defence, though you have quietly allowed her to hope while you wove your web in the darkness. She still finds time to call upon the enemy. Continue to persist. She will eventually let her guard down, as only those who surrender completely to the enemy, as Job did, can endure such endless suffering. When her weariness and despair are great enough to entertain a moment of doubt, you need to be ready to move into the breach. Usually, a single false start, as the one you orchestrated, can accomplish this. But your patient resisted greatly, making her an even greater prize for our Father below. When the enemy had planted seeds of return into the mind of the husband, you stepped back and let him move towards her. Then at her happiest moment, when she was hopeful and by positive turn of events, you aimed all of your fiery darts at her, the husband and the other woman. Still, your patient clings ever more tightly to the enemy. The husband and the other woman easily fell again, as their souls have already begun to fill with darkness. But this is not enough. Our Father below is determined that he must have your and all of her sons and other family as well. You must enlist others to help you, as you will be responsible if she remains with the enemy. Work with Glubos on this. He'll take care of the other woman. He is quite skilled in enticing words of flattery from her lips. As you have seen, these words fall on the husband's ears and lure him back with pangs of guilt and desire, that he falls easily into the web of her arms and destruction. Glubos will also continue to encourage the husband's parents and siblings to accept and support his lies of misplaced blame and rationalization. He will continue to believe himself the victim rather than the perpetrator. You did well to act on the husband's pride and vanity, luring him away from the prize of title and money. Lubos will continue to work on his vanity, bringing up other women from our side to him to continue to stroke his ego and tempt him further. He is so far from the enemy now, your patient will surely begin to doubt. Your patient will plunge from the mountain top to the valley in the blink of an eye, and you must move in rapidly before she has a chance to cry out to the enemy. Whisper in her ear, "What good has your faith done you? Where is your God now?" Or, "You don't need this heartache. It's time to move on and be happy." Enlist the help of her trusted friends to echo the same lies. She'll continue to go to church, so gather legion to work on her fellow Christians to reinforce that last sentiment. Do you remember that middle-aged couple from her church that Trip wheezed alluded into divorce last year? It would be a nice touch to sit her near that man and his new wife this Sunday. Let her see firsthand what she is missing. Work very hard after this fall, because this could very well be her undoing. Our Father below is monitoring the situation closely, and the stakes are extremely high. If you should fail in your endeavour, the ripple effect through the kingdom of darkness will be devastating. And you will pay dearly. This will be your last chance to claim your patient for our Father below. We must convince her of her husband's unworthiness. Remind her of how he used to advance his own goals and vanities, tricked her into relinquishing her earning power, subtly encouraged his sons and others to withhold respect or regard her with dignity, threw her away after we used cancer to mutilate her body, and disregarded every pledge to honour, provide for, and protect her until death. You see how she continues to intercede for her children, her husband, restoration of her marriage, and family, and even the other woman. You surely understand the gravity of that situation, as we are in danger of the enemy guiding back her lost husband, her children, and countless others who have been following her situation. Others in troubled marriages will be emboldened to stand and to hope. We simply cannot have that. On second thoughts, I'm going to contact all the demons in the area to aid you, because we cannot allow any outcome other than a divorce that fills her with hatred and bitterness. Your affectionate uncle,